think Elizabeth is like your number one like supporter of our business.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
literally everybody in that park.
Her and Melissa, because Melissa with Nash, because I mean, you heard about Nash, right? How he broke the husband Drew's arm, his shoulder. He broke it twice and sent them to the ER 3 times in a year.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, because he was just pulling so hard. So
like pulling, like on the leash?
Yeah, like just disobedient. And Nash is not, you know, a small dog. So, probably go away from the noise. Yeah, so they had actually signed up just right when COVID hit. They had signed up, and then that Friday, the governor had issued the mandate.
Oh my gosh.
So then I was like, sorry. Like, I felt so bad because they were supposed to start that Sunday, and Friday the mandate kicked in. So then they're like, it's okay, you know, we'll wait. And then, like, I think it was like a couple of weeks or a month later, I knew I could train dogs without needing to handle them myself, because that was the big thing. Everybody was like, well, if you're not training the dog, like, how do we learn?
You're like, you train the person.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so I knew I could do it. And then Melissa was the first person, was our first client post-COVID that started. And then I wish I would have recorded, this was before I was recording everything, but the first session to the beginning to end was like just complete 180 with Nash. And then she did a testimonial video for us like a couple weeks later. And then after that, all the clients started coming in. So
yeah, I'd say she's almost like a 180. Like, I mean, her walking was so bad. Like, it'd be like every 5 feet she wanted to sniff or like bite a leaf or do something.
Sure.
And now she doesn't even think about that.
Well, she, remember on the consultation?
Oh my gosh, yeah, she escaped.
Yeah, she slipped out the harness and like took off. But you know, she took off some dogs that were playing. But yeah, she was a little troublemaker.
She's stubborn. She's a grown-up.
All right, so today we're gonna work on the place command.
Okay.
Are you guys familiar with that command?
It's just like stay, like if we have guests over, we want you to go rest kind of thing.
Correct. So like, it's what we call stationary control.
Okay.
So the 3, like the trifecta, is the walk with me, don't pull, come when I call you, and then there's a don't move.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's more like sit is technically like put your butt down, don't move. Then there's lay down, don't move. Place is the simplest because it's just sending the dog to an area.
Yep.
And I don't care if they sit, stand, or lay down. She could even chew on a bone. If it's a big enough area, there's another dog. Technically, she can play with that dog within the space. She just cannot step off of the space.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a lot easier to teach, a lot easier to reinforce, especially if you have a baby. So you're not, because if you down her, that's down. There's no gray area there. Here, there's a little bit of a gray area. Just stay within the boundary. Don't care what you do. Okay? Any questions?
No, this is perfect. We had people over for Halloween, and we're like, God, we wish we got this session in like a week earlier.
Sure. So I'll have you go ahead and bring over Winnie. And I'm going to coach you through it, okay? All right. So here, what's your number currently?
41.
Man, it's like summer today.
I know, it's so nice.
You're at 40, I'm sorry?
Yeah, I could probably go down.
Let's go down to 25.
Okay.
So whenever we teach anything new, we do go down low.
Okay.
Okay, and what you're going to do here is we're not going to say anything quite yet. You're just going to use leash tension and the remote to teach Winnie to go to the placemat. Okay?
Okay.
So go ahead and shorten your leash a little bit. And you might need to brace the bed here, because sometimes the dogs will resist. And they'll kind of buck back like this, and they'll push the bed away. So if you need, you can brace it.
Okay.
And you just use that tension, very, very subtle pressure, and you're going to start tapping until Winnie pops on. If we see her resist more, you can use a little bit more leash pressure to guide her on.
Okay.
As soon as she's on the place, you can stop the remoting. If she were to hop off, you wouldn't say anything. You're just going to start tapping again, and then use the leash pressure to bring her back on. Okay. Okay. And tap, 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 tap. Good. And praise.
Good girl.
Good. And you're going to say break.
Break.
And go ahead and remove her. Good. And repeat that 4 more times. Good.
Good girl.
Let's go ahead and bump her to 30.
Okay. Any break?
Alrighty.
And tap, tap, tap. Good. And praise. Atta girl.
Good girl.
We're gonna do that 2 more times. Tap, tap, tap. There she goes. Atta girl.
Good girl.
And then last rep.
Break.
And tap, tap. Very good.
Good girl.
So now, what we're gonna do here, same process, and I'm gonna have you stand about a foot to 2 feet away from the bed.
Okay.
You're gonna anchor yourself, and you're gonna use just the leash pressure and the tapping to get Winnie to go forward. Okay. So you're gonna stay put as opposed to walking her.
Okay.
We're gonna be here about 1 to 2 feet, tapping. If you see or feel like she resists too much, you can we'll bump the number to 35.
Okay.
But we're good right now at the 30.
Winnie, break.
Tap, 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 tap. Let's go to 35. And tap, 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 tap. Let's go to 40. Tap, 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 tap. 45. There she goes. Okay, good. Go ahead and praise here.
Winnie, good girl.
There you go. Good girl. Good. We're gonna try that again 4 more times.
Winnie, break.
Tap, tap. Good. Good. Atta girl.
Break.
Break. Good. Atta girl. Yep. Tap. Tap. Good.
One more time.
2 more times. I'm gonna have you. When you say break here, go ahead and walk around to kind of reset her a bit.
Okay.
And when you walk back towards the place, she might shoot forward. If she does, just use your leash to keep her from doing so.
Okay.
Okay. But we only want her to go once you feel the tap.
Winnie, break. Good girl.
Good. We're gonna do 1 more.
Winnie, break.
Right. Hold her back a little bit. Wait a moment. Tap, tap, tap. Very good. And praise.
Good girl.
Hey, we're at 35 still?
Oh, 45.
45 now. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do here, same process, but you're gonna start to move around. Okay. So you're gonna say break, and then you're gonna send Winnie from different positions. So instead of sending her from the same spot, like you'll walk around, you'll come to a stop here. Don't let her go forward. Wait a moment, and then you're gonna start tapping first this time, and then pull if needed. Okay. If she doesn't go, then you can add in the pressure. She goes, good girl.
Okay.
Break. You're gonna walk around with her. Come, try a different side. Tapping first, and then use your leash pressure if needed to get it to go.
Okay, and obviously, like, this is very clear because you have like the little like elevated thing.
Correct.
At home, do you recommend having like a certain space? Like she has like a big bed that we have in our
You
living
can
room.
use a dog bed. You can use a towel, a blanket, kitchen mat, an ottoman. It just has to be anything that has a surface. Like this is elevated.
Yeah.
But it can be just a simple towel on the ground because the towel has a perimeter.
Yeah, exactly. That
So
they
as long-
can notice.
Correct. Like I wouldn't say like place and expect her to like generalize
Yeah.
the boundary here. So as long as anything that has a perimeter around it, you're perfectly fine with.
Okay.
Okay.
Winnie, break.
Was there a tap there or did she go by herself?
She started to go before I tapped.
Okay, so then on that one, you would just pull her back
Okay.
to keep her, okay? We'll try it again.
I was like, I thought she was about to sit. I was like, Winnie, break.
Good girl. tap. Good. There you go. Add a girl and praise.
Break. Break.
Good. Good. Wait a moment. Good. Tap. 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 Good. Good. We're going to do 3 more.
Break.
Tap, 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 tap. There she goes. Good.
Good girl.
Add a girl.
Break.
Good. 2 more. Good. Oh, was that on the tap?
Yeah.
Okay.
That only took 1 time. That
Good.
time.
That was good.
Girl.
We're going to do 1 more.
Break.
Good girl. Yep. Yep. Good.
Good girl.
And praise. Add a girl. Good. We'll go ahead and swap handlers here.
Okay. Swap. Good girl.
We'll go ahead and bump our number 2. We'll go to 50.
Oh, Winnie.
And we're gonna take we're gonna go back a couple of steps.
Okay.
So you're gonna tell her break, and then you're gonna just go back to that 1 to 2 feet with the leash pressure, and then the tapping to get her to descend a few times, and then I'll progress you through the stages.
Winnie, break. I didn't even tap it.
Okay, so if
Have her
she's
sit first.
if she goes, so as you're going forward, because you're walking, she's gonna build momentum. Is just be ready to stop her.
Okay.
Or you can reverse and pull her back, and then try to walk towards and keep her at your side. Okay.
Okay.
She doesn't have to be in a heel. She just can't forge forward.
Sure. Winnie, break.
Good. And then wait a moment. Pull. Yep. Pull, 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 pull. Add a girl. Good. Tap. Tap. Very good.
Good girl, Winnie. Good girl.
Good. And break.
Break.
Good. We're gonna do 4 more. Good.
This is so good. Good girl. That a girl. Winnie, break. Hey.
Yep. Yep. Good.
Good girl. You're so smart. Winnie, break.
Good. 2 more. Good.
I did not zap on that one.
I try to get at least 1 tap in, okay?
Okay. Good girl.
And 1 more.
She's so comfy. Winnie, break.
Good. Tap. Tap. Good.
Oh yeah, you're so comfy.
All right. And you're at 50 now, right?
Yes.
Just give a tap here. Tap. Yeah, she can feel it. Okay, good. I just wasn't sure. So what we're gonna do here is now you're gonna start to move around, but this time you're gonna go in and take you're gonna go from 2 to 3 feet back, as opposed to 1 to 2 feet. So go a little bit further.
Any direction?
Any direction, and then you're gonna start tapping first. So you come to a stop, wait for Winnie, start tapping, and if she goes on the tap, you don't need to do the leash at all.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, Winnie, break. Oh, sorry, Winnie.
Tap, 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 tap. There we go. Very good.
Yes, good
Atta girl.
You're so smart. Good girl, Winnie Toots.
Do 4 more.
Winnie, break.
Yep. There you go. Atta girl.
Yes, good girl.
Great, good.
This is so good. You're so good, Winnie. Good girl. All right, Winnie, break. Oh.
Yep, now you're a little bit, there you go. Good girl.
Good girl. There you go. Good girl. She's so smart.
Good, couple more, break.
Winnie, break. You want me to get him, Fred? Break.
Benjamin! Benjamin!
Tap. A bit more of a pull. There she goes. Atta girl.
Atta girl. Good girl. You're so smart.
I'm gonna do 1 more.
Yes,
Good.
good girl.
And praise.
Yes, awesome job, Winnie Toots. Good girl.
You're at 55, right?
50.
50? Let's go back down. We'll go down to 40.
Okay.
And then what we're gonna do here is same process,
Okay.
but now you're going to cue the word place first, and then you're gonna do what you were just doing, right? So you'd walk around, you'd come to a stop, place, start tapping, and then leash pull if needed.
Okay. Chris, do you want to switch? Okay. It's okay, we'll switch.
Sure.
Set.
And then light pull forward, tap. There she goes. Good.
Place.
Tap. Tap. Atta girl. Good job. And praise.
When you break. Different positions.
Yeah. There she goes. Good. Right. Good.
When you place.
Tap. Good. Atta girl. Praise.
When you break.
Good.
When you place.
Good.
When you break. When you place.
Good.
Just like jumping up.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna do a couple more.
When you break. When you place.
Good.
Good girl. place.
Good. And praise.
Good girl.
Very good. So we're going to repeat the same thing, except now you're going to start to do movement. Okay? So you're going to cue her place. She goes. When she lands, you're going to start to move around her. If she tries to break off of the place, you'll start tapping. You won't say anything, but you'll just begin tapping and using the leash pressure to guide her back on. Okay?
Okay. Winnie, break. Winnie, place.
Atta girl. Good job.
She's like not even interested.
I know. Good. Go ahead and come to a stop. And when you're ready, good, praise, and break.
Girl. Winnie, break. Winnie, place.
Good.
Winnie, break.
Yep. Good. Do 3 more.
Winnie, place.
Good.
At least pretty good at staying there.
I think she's starting to get tired.
Yeah.
So for us, like, this is like perfect weather.
Yeah.
But for Winnie,
It's
she's
like
I can
super
see
hot.
she's starting to get hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll take a break and we'll go in the shade after these last 2.
Okay.
Let her cool off a bit, and I'll talk about like just the practicing and stuff. Okay.
Winnie, break.
Yep. Good.
Good girl. Now. Winnie, place.
Good. Right tap. Good. There you go. Good fix.
Winnie, break.
Good. And 1 more.
Winnie, place.
Tap. Tap. There you go. Good fix. Quick fix too.
Good girl. Good girl.
Excellent. Break. So we'll go and step over in the grass shady area here. Let Winnie cool off for a moment. All right.
Do you want to take him out?
We're just in the baby. That's stinky.
Oh, sure. Did you have to?
No, I'll stay. We walked here,
I can
so.
finish. Let's show you.
Yeah, it's easy stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Okay. All right. I'm fine.
So, questions so far about any of that?
No, I think it makes sense. I think that it's definitely going to be really useful, like for us. So it's like she doesn't jump on anybody when we get home. Like she gets excited and like will like come up to you, which we're fine with. But like then like if we're just like hanging out or whatnot, I mean obviously like a retriever is like very like wants to be touched and petted and whatnot. So she'll like just like come around and you're like trying to have like a snack or whatnot. Like so it'll be like perfect to be like, hey, go to your bed.
Sure. So there's 2 approaches there technically. So stationary control is like if you have guests come over or like if you're gonna eat dinner and you don't want her to bother you.
Yeah.
Or like let's say you're gonna what was it, like tummy time with the baby or something,
Yeah.
right? And then because every client that I've had who's had a dog and they had a baby, so like every time we lay on the ground, the dog just comes
Yeah.
running over.
Oh, yeah.
So then they'll use the place command to keep the dog contained, and then they're not having to worry about is the dog going to charge over while we're engaging with the baby. So like things like that. If you're going to use it in the sense of like where someone's coming over, you want to use it preventively. So like if the guest is coming at 5:30, then at 5 o'clock Winnie would already be placed. Okay. Most people tend to wait for the problem to already be happening, like the dog's already excited or jumping or whatever, and then they try to send them. And you want to do it proactively and send her prior.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot easier for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was I going to say? I was do you need the long leash later?
I have one. If,
Okay.
yeah, I have one with me.
I'll leave it though.
Leave that. I
Sure.
can bring it back.
Alright, Kelsey, I'll see you next week.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Next Friday.
Oh.
Hopefully we get.
Yeah.
This week 6?
No,
The
next
week 5?
This is the fifth one, correct?
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
So hopefully you guys get another nice Friday.
Yeah.
I know.
It'll probably be like snowing.
Thank you.
Alright, bye guys.
Oh, so like the other thing would be like, let's say when you're eating, and you don't want to necessarily place Winnie, but
Yeah.
you want her to not bother you, you can also just simply correct like the begging behavior, if she's like asking for food or like begging for food. And I think I was supposed to send her videos, but it's what's called a bonker. It's just a rolled up towel, and then it's you can use rubber bands or hair bands to keep it shape, and you like use it to bonk the dog. Okay, so like because you're not always gonna have the remote on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So, like another dog, if they were to be eating their food and Winnie came over and they didn't want her nearby, they would just bite her
Yeah.
and say like, "Back away, this is my food."
Yeah.
Right? So this is like our way of biting her at the press of
Yeah.
the button. You could also use it for correction. So like technically, if she was wearing the collar, if she came to beg, you could tap, and the tap itself should send her away because you're telling her, "Don't bother me while I'm eating." Essentially, that's an aversive. So aversives are meant to stop behavior.
Yeah.
But we can also use it to teach behaviors the way that we use it. So like here, even though that's an aversive, we're using it to teach her to go to the bed.
Yeah.
And we use it to teach her how to walk, we use it to teach her how to tumble, right? And the way we teach is by using that directional pressure to guide her into what to do while that is happening. And then when she performs the behavior, that goes away. So then it becomes more, it's not so much an aversive, it's really more so a line of communication.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, if you do this, this will disappear. Okay? But when it comes to like, if it was like jumping, if she jumped on someone and they started tapping, I'm adding an aversive to something I want to deter. Okay, so in that sense, I don't care what she does, I just care that she doesn't jump on me. So then the tapping would teach her, oh, I shouldn't put my paws on people because then I get aversive.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
So for the e-collar, if you ever see Winnie doing something you don't want her to do, eating goose poop, eating twigs, digging in the dirt, jumping, barking out the window, begging, like if she were to have the collar on, you would simply just tap until she stopped the behavior. Ideally, it should take no more than 1 to 3 taps. If you find like you're tapping a lot and she's not doing anything, you're most likely too low.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you just adjust it accordingly. Otherwise, if you're in the home and she's doing something you don't want her to do, you can also just use the bonker.
Yeah.
And then, especially like with puppies tend to be sensitive to it. So it makes it an effective correctional tool so that you're not always dependent on the e-collar.
Yeah.
Outside is different because you have to account for like all the things going on, that the e-collar is present just in case something gets her attention or she's too distracted because it's like, a rabbit running through the park or something like that. Okay?
Yeah.
Questions so far?
Oh.
So one thing to be mindful of is weather can affect the levels. Okay, especially when it's hot and especially with a thick-coated dog like Winnie. Okay, so all that means is if typically her number is like 35, 45 and she's perfect, on a really hot day, don't be surprised if you're at 95.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because the body heat is overriding the collar. Okay, and I've seen this happen all for 10 years, especially with dogs like her, huskies, German shepherds. With the thick coat and the body heat, we're usually pretty high up on the collar. If you stop to give her, to allow her to cool off, you'll want to go down on your number because then she's going to be receptive to the higher number that she's cooled off. Okay, so if you ever find like she's not paying attention or like just kind of blowing you off, if it's a really hot day, that's good for that part of it. The other thing is during the winter time, like when the snow comes, a lot of dogs get spazzy. Because they're super excited about the snow. Okay, so again, it's in that sense, it's the number, but it's not so much because the dog is overheating, but it's because they're so excited about the snow that they need a higher number. And then typically within a couple of days of just consistent, like
seeing snow,
then it tends to go back down to the normal levels. But don't be surprised if that happens too. Okay. Anything else?
No, okay.
All right, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna work on a little bit more of the place. So we ended with sending her and then walking around, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to add a little bit more distance. So the reason for reason why I didn't want to continue with the walking her to the place is because if you do that and you keep doing that, you always have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want Winnie to learn what place is. So once we do the first few reps and she gets an idea of it, then I started going, now you're just going to anchor yourself, and then use the tapping to get her to figure out how to go there.
So I felt like she definitely started to get
Oh yeah,
there.
for sure. Like on the last few, she started. I saw the one tap, and she was just shooting there. Okay, so everybody's kind of expectation of the place is different. So, like I had one particular person. There was only ever one person who wanted to send his dog to place from anywhere within the home. Okay, and I was like, all right. I was like, well, then if you're gonna do that, you have to work backwards, right? You have to start here, and just increase the distance. And the reason why we changed the direction is if you always walk Winnie from the same spot, and then one day you try to send her from over here, she'll act like she doesn't know what to do. Okay, because dogs are very habit. Dogs are very much how things look when they practice it.
Yeah.
So you could send her from here, and you might see Winnie walk around and actually come like this, because she's so used to coming from this direction.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the beginning, I like to try to get the dog to generalize as much as possible to make it easier, and I just send from any direction right off the bat. Okay. So we're gonna add a bit more distance to this. We're probably gonna start sending from like a back here. Once you send and she goes, you can either step in with her, or you can just let the leash go slack and let her go on her own and try the walk around.
Okay.
Okay. Once you've done a little bit of walking around, you're gonna stop. I'm gonna have you give a lot of praise, like very excited, good girl praise, and then you're gonna pull away and walk, anticipating she might try to follow you. Okay, because of the energy of the petting, and just a lot of dogs tend to think that the task is over because they've been pet. So when you walk away, if she tries to go, you'd start tapping. Ideally, she should just go back on herself. Otherwise, you can step on the leash and then use the leash to guide. Okay.
Winnie, place.
Yep, good. Add girl. Yep, there we go. Good girl.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
Good. Back to her side. Good.
Winnie, break.
Good.
Winnie, place.
Good.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. All right, Winnie, break. Winnie, place.
Good, send. Very good. Good, we're gonna do a couple more.
Winnie, break. Winnie, place.
Alright, tap. Tap. Good girl.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
And last one.
Winnie, break. Winnie, place.
Good, nice little hop.
Good girl.
Good. So, with the place command, it's meant for extended control. So right now we're just teaching descent.
Yeah.
We're teaching Winnie how to go there, okay? And she's got a really good handle. The next thing is the go there, don't move.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no time limit. Like if you wanted her to stay put for 4 hours, you can do 4 hours. But in the beginning, expect that there's going to be some mistakes where she's going to try to preemptively break off. So there's a couple ways of building to it. And again, everybody's application is going to be different. Some people only need the dog to do it for an hour. Some people need the dog to do it 3 to 4 hours, or some even longer. So one way is to do it in stages. The first week, what I do is, let's say you take Winnie's bed, or her dog bed or whatever, and you're going to sit down and watch TV, is for the first week you can have her dog bed next to you, and you would place her. And you should have her leash on, you should have her e-collar on and everything. You should step on the leash and you watch, TV for an hour and a half. And anytime she tries to break away, you would just simply tap her, so she should correct, right? So you're just applying the duration to a time when you're not going to be moving. You're just going to be still for a bit. And then when you're done, when you break, put the leash away, whatever, right? During that first week, if you're going to get up and move, you wouldn't just get up and walk away, because it's going to be too early for her. Okay. So what I do instead is before I get up, I would say, Winnie, break, release her first, then stand up, go to the kitchen, whatever, do what you need to do, come back, and you can either reposition her or you can let her be done. Okay. The reason why we want to release first is so that we avoid a problem. If you always stand up and then break Winnie, she's going to think every time you stand up, she's going to get to go free. Okay. So instead, I reverse it. I get up first, then I release her, and then we go. Okay. For the second week, then it's okay. She's still at your side, but then I start getting up and walking away, and she has to stay put. Okay, because we've already done it for a week where I've corrected her. So if I start to walk away and Winnie starts to follow me, I should just be able to tap. She should reposition, and it should be very easy. Okay. The third week, Winnie's a little bit further away. Okay, like 4 to 5, 6 feet away, whatever, but still relatively close. And then the fourth week is Winnie's like across the room, completely away from me. And you start getting up and walking around, going upstairs, downstairs, doing chores or whatever. And her job is to hold still. Okay, so you're gradually building it. The length of time doesn't matter. You could go home right now, pop on a movie, and do this for an hour and a half. Okay, because it's simple. Once I send you here, don't come off. Okay, but of course she's not going to know that already. You're going to have to correct her, but because I'm just going to be sitting here doing nothing, watching TV, it's nothing extra for you to do this. Make sense? So that's one means of doing it.
Definitely makes sense.
The other way is if you have something to tether her to, you can kind of cheat the system. So like at my facility, we have columns, and we have a placemat by each column, and we'll like when we get our boarding trains, once we teach the place command, right off the bat they're doing 2 to 3 hours. We'll literally train this command, walk over, place them, and we have leashes that are wrapped around the column that are tethers, and we clip to the dog's collar to tether them to the column. Okay, so they have enough space to like wander off and get off of the placemat, but not enough to actually just get away. Okay, so if we had Winnie, we would teach her, then we would place her, we'd clip her to the leash, and then we'd grab another dog and we start training that dog. Okay, but then as we're training this dog, Winnie might think like, well, nobody's here. Right, you're 30 feet away, so you can't get to me, and try to sneak away. And we'd have her call remote. We would tap her, and she would correct. Okay, so right off the bat, we're doing not only duration, but a lot of distraction, and just like teaching her that it doesn't matter where we are in conjunction to her, that we still have control to correct her. Okay, so some of my clients use like couches, or like if they have like a wooden table that's really heavy. To like stabilize the dog, or like some people with the old school radiators in the summertime, they weren't using them, so they would put the leash around the radiator, dog bed, put the dog, they'd be vacuuming and all that stuff, and the dog would try to like sneak away, and they could tap them without even needing to go back. Okay, so that's one way to kind of go about it. So either or is perfectly fine. It's just if you're doing it where it's her by you, that takes longer. Because because I've had people try to like put the dog across the room in the first week, and they'll complain that they kept having to get up to walk the dog back.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I'm like, that's why I said start here.
Yeah.
Because I know there's going to be a lot of corrections.
Yeah.
It's super easy. You're stepping on the leash, she can't get anywhere, and then we build to that.
Well, also then to your point is like you don't have to get up like or like walk it back so every time. Like
Right.
so you're not establishing like that routine for them.
Correct.
By you staying seated, then they kind of like know like hey they have to do it themselves. Right?
Correct. Yeah. That you're completely out of the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So I try to remove myself as much as possible because everything's slowly through the remote. Just makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't want to repeat the command. So like if you placed Winnie and she broke it like 30 minutes later, you wouldn't say place again. You would just tap and it would be related still to the original command.
Yeah.
Okay. So the way a dog brain works is if you say place and she breaks away and you say place again, okay, even if you tap, you've reset the command. It's a whole new command. Okay. But if I say place and then she breaks position and then 30 minutes later she tries to sneak away and I don't say anything but I just tap her, she thinks, oh, place means go here and don't move, and if I try to sneak off, there's going to be an automatic correction.
Yeah.
And the only way to avoid it is not to get off in the first place. Okay, so it's a tiny little detail, but it's the one detail that really trips people up because most people repeat.
Yeah,
And
that's
those-
why I wanted to ask about the like
They're on the recall.
on the recall
Right,
because
right.
I like knew like should I do it again? But like to your point, I know like she's trying to do it. She's just like going to the wrong person.
Correct. So in that case, because for her, she's thinking she completed the task. I go, you can repeat it, right? Now, if it was the original recall where she's like running and playing, and I called her and she's just ignoring me, there, I just start to go to remoting. What you can also do is if she goes to someone coming in closer, like this, and when he come, being mindful to do the reverse motion.
Yeah, to establish that it's you.
That it's me, right? And coming in closer just helps her attach easier.
Yeah.
So there's a number of ways of fixing that problem. One is to work on it, right? Have the long leash, practice when the neighbors are out and stuff, and say like, hey, we're gonna call Winnie so we can work on this. And then when she goes to the wrong person, you just call her again, but now you have the leash to help her come back to you. And I would strongly suggest using food there to reinforce cheese, turkey, hot dog, sausage, whatever, very high value stuff, to really motivate her, like you want to listen to who's calling, right? Or you come in closer, and like literally about this close when you come, and you're tapping and moving backwards, you know, even trying to crouch. A lot of times when people crouch like this, it attracts the dog. And then when she starts coming to you, good girl, yes, right, and moving backwards.
No, and I get like down with her when she comes to me. Like there's like two other dogs that like come up.
They come up at the same time, yeah. So that crouching down just attracts dogs. So that's another thing that you can do. You're trying to get her to figure out to leave herself. The other option is what I call a bowling ball, where you take if Winnie came to me by mistake, I'd grab her flat collar and I'd start running towards you with her. As I pull on her, like kind of like trying to throw her like a bowling ball, and you'll literally feel when the dog's gonna go. Like you'll literally start to feel him going forward, and then I pull and let go, and then remove myself, and I could be as close, like I could be ready with her from over there all the way to here before she'll finally do it. Okay, so because her brain's just thinking like I thought I was supposed to go to you, so it has a hard time detaching. So don't be surprised if you have to really get close to help her figure it out, and then gradually it would work itself backwards, and you'd be able to call her off of somebody without having to do so much work. It should be pretty straightforward. But definitely something I suggest working on because it is a very common problem. Nice thing is I train a lot of the dogs at the park, so she's asking another dog owner to help you out there. Okay. Other questions?
The other one, and I think I probably know the answer to this, but she's been great. Like when she gets walking right by you, not really distractions, except for like she's not good about like doing her business before we go on the walk. So,
sure.
Like I'm like, is she stopping to smell? But like most of the time it's like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. Like so, like I don't know. Is it just like, hey, take your time and let her go before you like get her in heel?
Oh, sure. So there's one thing is, let's say I give her 5 minutes. Right. And I know that she won't potty in those 5 minutes, but she'll potty at some point during the walk. If you really want her to learn to potty when you cue her, I'll pick my time, like maybe it's 30 minutes, and it's just, we're gonna walk for 30 minutes, okay? And every time she stops to sniff or anything, I just tap and I keep walking, tap and I keep walking, right? Because all that movement gets the body going.
Yeah.
It's gonna make her want to go. Okay. So like if she stops to pee, like I'll keep walking and tapping to bring her back to my side. I'll even bump it. Because then what I'm teaching them is you have a very small window to go to the bathroom, right? And it's gonna be when I say the word break, or it's gonna be at the beginning of the walk.
Yeah.
So like my Chihuahua used to pee on 100 things at once. Okay. Whenever we'd go for walks. So what I did was in the beginning 5 minutes, and then we started our walk, and he would try to stop, and I would just remote and keep walking, and then eventually he learned, and now he just goes. I have another client over here. He goes my daycare. He learned I have a 5-minute window in the beginning and a 5-minute window at the end.
Yeah.
You know, so then he learned at the beginning. I'm gonna just get this all out now because I know we're not stopping for the next hour. Okay. Now
it's always after we're at the park, and I'm like, you had 30 minutes to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
Like play with these dogs, and then it's like we're leaving. She's like, okay, I gotta pee and poop, and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah, because is she actively loose and playing?
Exactly.
Yeah, because she's so. It's kind of like kids.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll be like. I remember my mom telling my brothers like growing up, like, let me know if you have to go to the bathroom, right? And they would be playing video games or with toys, and then they wouldn't say anything, and the next thing you know, they'd have like a potty mistake.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't want to leave the play.
Exactly.
It's the same thing for her. So you can either spend more time in the beginning to get her to go potty, and if the routine is potty break, walk, dog park,
Yeah.
you could spend more time trying to get her to potty first, and then once she goes, then going to the dog park.
Yeah.
So then she starts to connect. Oh,
If I go,
the faster I go here, the faster we get over there. So that's another means of going about it.
Okay.
And if she stops to like just poop or whatever, like you gotta stop anyways to pick it up. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm always like, I like tap her, and then I see she's pooping. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. So it'll fix itself one way or another.
Yeah.
Not uncommon for puppies.
Yeah, especially when she gets better control of her functions.
Yeah. And how is her potty training?
Oh, she's like, I don't think it's going in the house in like 4 months probably.
Oh, good.
So yeah, we did the bells.
Okay.
I put the bells on the door handle, and like you'd ring it. And so then she learned like I put my snout and whack it when I need to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
So she like learned that pretty quickly, and we don't need to use that anymore. Like she can hold her bladder for like 4 or 5 hours.
Gotcha. Good.
Like 9-10 hours at night when, like you say, she's
Sleeping.
not active at all.
Correct. Yeah. So that sounds about right for because she's what 6-7 months now.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah. So good. Any other questions about this? So did she show you about the long leash stuff? Like the long leash shield and everything?
We've been like working with her, and she had mentioned that because this was like kind of the first time that I saw like the problem with going to the other person, and Julie mentioned that like have somebody in between and work on like pushing her back to the person. I think we just need to go to the park. We were working with her, was it yesterday? Yeah, with her like off leash heel, like because the park right next to us at what is it? Webster and Racine, it has like the fenced in. So like we're just like walking with her with off leash, trying to get her used to that to stay in heel.
Yeah.
And some recall. So but trying to work with her, and yeah, Julie's kind of showed me everything. So.
Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and grab your long leash.
Yeah.
And then I'll have you show me how you remember it.
Should I take off her short one or keep it?
Yeah, you can take off the short one. You won't need that.
Comfy cozy there, Winnie? You're like, yeah, I think
Like this is an easy one.
Julie's parents though actually just got 2 of these collars, and we're over Christmas
Oh, really?
train her dogs, or attempt to. But I feel like after going with you, it's like we kind of know like the routines and things to like work on to get them, like because like their problem is like one pulls.
Sure.
So like that one's like pretty easy to fix, and then I think we'll be like this heel rest, like because they like when somebody comes in, they're like ah.
Yeah. No, so like so the client that was walking by earlier with her 2 dogs, she actually trained her dogs watching my videos.
Really?
Yeah. So like that's what a lot of my clients have done that where they've sent it to like their parents or whatever, because like either to learn how to use the e-collar with the dog, or like in your case, like so that they can learn how to fix the problem, which it would just be the heel and the replacement.
Yeah, exactly. So like we're like, because they saw like Winnie and they were like, oh my gosh, great. And we're like, yeah, you just need one of these.
Good. Go ahead and tell the break.
Break.
So I'll have you here. Just show me your long leash heel, okay? And I'm gonna just see how you're practicing it. Make sure we're practicing it correctly, and we'll cap it there.
So I should hold it pretty loose, right?
Yeah. So again, what I like to do is take the end of your leash. Oh,
I got it.
yeah. Will that leash hold it down?
Yeah, because it has like.
There we go. So I'll take and then your right thumb. There you go. And then I have it. You have it on the left side, right?
Yeah.
So put the loop over your right thumb.
Got it.
That's your left thumb. There you go. And then you'll just step over your leash and leave it slack.
Okay.
There you go, like that. And it'll go ahead and just like heel and start walking forward.
Heel.
There you go. Good. Tap forward, tap, 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 tap. Keep moving. Tap, tap, tap. There we go.
What was that, Winnie?
There we go. Good. And what's your number currently?
42.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go to 55 again. Good. Go ahead and try a left turn. Tap. Good.
She does this sometimes where she gets like almost like too close.
Yes, and when you're doing off leash, you need too close. Otherwise, the dog will run off. Good. Tap, 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 tap. Keep moving. Tap, tap. Keep tapping. Tap, 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 tap. There she goes. Good. Good. Try another left turn. You got it. Yep, just power through. Good. Turn to your right. Tap. 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 Yep, keep going forward and tap. Tap. There she goes. Good. Good. Try another left turn. So you see how you keep kind of crashing into her? So what you want to do before that turn, because I believe you're doing it correctly, you're turning with your right, is slow down first. Okay? So we're going to try it again. You're going to go and put her in the heel this way. And then when I say make that left turn, slow down at least 2 to 3 steps. She should be more at your side, and then cross over with that right leg. Okay?
Winnie, heel.
Good. Tap forward, tap, tap. Keep forward, tap, yep. Keep forward, there she goes, good. Good, now you're gonna slow walk here. And now get ready for a left turn. Now turn to your right, tap, tap, keep going, yep. Tap, keep going, tap, tap. There she goes, good. Turn to your right, tap, right, you got it. Yep, tap. And I'll explain all this too. She's being a diva.
I know. Trust me, she's definitely a drama queen.
Now slow. Yeah, now get ready for that left. There you go. Good. Now forward. Try a pivot.
What?
A pivot. Do you know the pivot turn?
Nah.
Okay, I'll show you. So, the left turns, we lead. It looked like you were doing it correctly. Did she show you? Okay, when you cross over like this, right?
Yeah.
For the pivot, it's you extend your left leg, you go back on your right leg, and go the opposite way. Okay, so when Winnie gets ahead of you, you know about the turn, correct? Yeah. So like earlier when she got ahead, I was like correctional turn, and you turn and tap, that was correct. That's actually the pivot, but when you do the correctional turn, it's abrupt.
Yeah.
Because she's not paying attention, right? So then when she is paying attention, you would slow down, just like the left turn, and it would be left, right, left, going back the opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the pivot. So you're making a 180 to the right, but this is when she is paying attention. Okay. So we'll try that out.
Winnie, heel.
Tap. There she goes. Good. So you're going to go forward. So we're going to slow down here. And you're going to forward left, back on right. So you went side to right.
Okay. Back.
So go to come to a stop.
Backwards.
We'll do this. It's probably easier from a stop. So go ahead and forward left, back on right, then forward left like that. You see that?
So you're doing almost like a 45-degree angle backwards.
A 180.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's that step forward, right?
Because I was doing like a 90-degree.
Yeah,
turn.
you're doing left, and then you're going like this.
Okay.
So it'd be forward, back, forward.
Yeah, okay.
Completely the opposite way. Okay. Go ahead.
Winnie, heel.
Tap. There you go. Good girl. Go ahead and turn, tap. Right. There she goes. Better.
Yeah, she's being a little less stubborn at least. Probably because she's getting tired.
Yeah, and the heat too. There you go. Much better. We'll try one more. Good. And slow to a stop. Very good. So, with her yipping there,
Yeah.
is because she was trying to resist the pressure because I had to go to 55, right?
Yeah.
And I did 55 because I knew she was going to be kind of sluggish. And one, it pushed her away from you.
Yeah.
And collar should never mean run away. It should always mean coming closer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one reason why we did that is I'm forcing problems so you can proof everything.
Yeah.
So that if she's fully off leash, we're not worried about is she going to run away.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is her speed. When it comes to correcting, it has to be quick.
Yeah.
If it's too slow, imagine you're at the park and she's like just slowly returning to you and the dogs come in, she's gonna go play with the dogs.
Yeah.
But if she's running to you very quickly, that means it's urgent, it means it's important, she's gonna beeline straight to you, okay?
Well, it was like when she got off of there, she corrected really fast, but like out here, it was like,
Yeah, because now she's like, I have 30 feet of slack.
yeah.
Right, so that she's playing with those boundaries, which is why I like to give the full slack and then you just keep going, you just keep that pressure on. She's making life harder by trying to scratch at it. And after you did like 3 or 4 of them, those last couple corrections there, right away she just went to fix the problem because she knew like this is not going to go away unless she moves quickly. Okay, so for your practice, you can start the sending exercise with the place, 2 to 3 minutes, a couple times a day. So if you and Julie did 1 session apiece, you'd be fine. Duration work, you can start right off the bat. You know, pick times where you're not going to be doing anything, working from home, watching TV, or whatever, keeping it close to you for now. And then for the heel, practicing your turns and then remembering to slow down.
Yeah.
Prior to turns and prior to stops.
Yeah.
Okay? Questions?
No, I think those are the big 3 things to work on for the next week is just what you said and then the recall.
Yeah. And then for the 6 classes, typically like an overview or a review where I just like look at what's going on, making sure that we remember everything correctly. Everything's looking good. The recall does take time to practice and get to fully off leash reliability. Plus you want to fix those little kinks with like her running to other people.
Yeah.
Completely common, and I really strongly advise to apply food if you can.
That's what definitely is going to be next on. Is going to do that.
And it's just a recall. The other stuff you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't need to do it for all the other stuff, but it'll help with the recall. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think that's perfect. I mean, those are like the big things that we wanted. So I think it's great.
Awesome. Good job.
Awesome.
She's doing really good. She's a smart little puppy.
Let's go get your smallish. Have a great weekend.
You too.